Outlaw Macho Drive-In.
Next up, we are on 29. Pre-show match. This is kind of when they first really started doing a lot of the kickoff panels, because I remember Kofi Kingston was on the kickoff panel this year. We had Miz versus Wade Barrett. Miz wins the Intercontinental Championship. It's when he was still trying to do the whole figure four. They were trying to push him as a face. Not really working too well, but he was running with it as much as he could. Next match, we have
First
new
match
force in the WWE. First match of the show. The Shield of Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins going against three of WWE's baby faces: Big Show, Randy Orton, and Sheamus. This match here, one of the few matches that there's actually a couple matches I don't mind on the show. This one here I liked. It's cut and dry, but I think Shield kind of needed to have a 6-man on this show.
It's pretty much a Shield.
How they were being presented.
Yeah, this match is pretty much a Shield showcase. Say.
Yes, exactly. Mark Henry defeating Ryback. That's pretty much all you can really say about that. Team Hell No defeated Big E and Dolph Ziggler to retain the tag titles. I think the most showing thing about this match is more or less seeing the fans react to Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
I think that is more telling than anything in the match itself, especially after the match. It was huge for Bryan, and this is still a year away from his title win. Well, his Mania title win. And seeing the crowd reaction right here is like huge, because going into Mania every year, there's that whole big thing of like what's going to be the big hot topic chant or whatever. Like a few years ago, it was like Rusev Day. Rusev Day has crumbled. Yes chant.
The Fandangoing as
started
well
the year prior. Crumbled. Yes,
started on this show actually, but
cemented here, and it's still carrying through to this day. This was awesome seeing Bryan with the crowd right here, because I did love that whole angry babyface run that he had, where he still had heel tendencies, but he was just that like scruffy, lovable babyface who just was like so pissed off at everything. Next up, we had Fandango defeating Chris Jericho. It is what it is. Alberto Del Rio defeated Jack Swagger. I loved the build for this match, because I was really digging the fact that they had Swagger and Coulter, doing their whole, right wing gimmick.
So
they were running with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw out a theory here. If you remember, 2013 is the year that Donald Trump went into the Hall of Fame. You'll see what I'm doing here with my hand. So I'm gonna say Donald Trump was at this WrestleMania, and I think Zeb Coulter was where he actually thought, this is how I'm gonna become president. He just watched what Zeb Coulter was doing with Jack Swagger and said, you know what? This is the rhetoric that I'm gonna use.
I am not gonna deny any of this.
I have to say, he was kind of doing that, Donald Trump, kind of before that, but he probably did get, you know what? I'm just gonna double down on it like Zell did.
Yeah, he's like, he's watching this and he's like, this stuff is money. I'm gonna use that.
Exactly. And JBL too now. Don't forget JBL Hill Run back in the day.
Yeah, but I think 2004, I don't think he was thinking about being president yet. 2013, I think that's right around the time where Seth Meyers made that joke at the Emmys, and He was like,
Yeah, I'm just more that just the stupid ideas he gets.
Yeah.
He got it from JBL and just
yeah, he got from JBL, and then Zeb Coulter made him understand how to weaponize those stocks.
Yeah.
The masses,
like,
yes, because
like,
they was getting over.
Yeah,
They was surprised.
He was like,
getting over.
he would see Zeb Coulter do this and he'd say this stuff and say, "We the people," and everyone would join in, and he was like, "Whoa, okay, people like this." He didn't understand that this was just wrestling fans being wrestling fans. He was like, "Oh, people actually are attracted to pushing people out and white supremacy and whatnot."
It's professional wrestling for all of that.
And just before we move on, I'm just shocked Vince wasn't crazy enough. You know what? We should just make a white version of Nation of Domination and just see how far that goes.
It's also what you don't know about this. You remember the Jeep they drove down to the ring for? With Alberto Del Rio paid for that.
Of course.
See, that's where he got the other thing about the wall and who's gonna pay. So they made Alberto Del Rio pay for the Jeep. I'm just saying that it's not out there, but it. Okay.
Next up, we had Undertaker defeating CM Punk.
Match of the night for me.
Honestly, this is one time when I Punk might be the guy. Honestly, right here, because he had the huge hot streak going in. I was like, how are they going to rebound from him dropping the title to The Rock? I was like, they might have him actually beat The Undertaker, which I'm glad didn't happen.
Especially with
after this, yeah. Punk goes on hiatus. He comes back as a babyface after this. But I think this was actually a good match. Probably the best match of the night. I think it had a great feel to it. And going into this, Punk was complete heel level. He was a great heel going into this match. Just the shit he was doing with Paul Bearer and everything. I thought that was entered necessarily in the best taste, but it worked for this match. It worked for what Punk was going for, and it worked for Taker being the guy, revenge on loudmouth asshole. It told a story. I think that was the best match of the night, and honestly, thus far, the only real Mania feeling. Actually, I guess you can kind of say the WCW title match was, but this one here just really feels. See Mohammed's face.
No, I'm trying to understand which one you're asking. You're talking.
WCW.
I mean the match that's before this, or the other match.
I think Del Rio and Swagger kind of had a Mania vibe going into it also, but this one here just completely dwarfed it. Because of how hot it was at that time period. Triple H versus Lesnar was so.
A lot of people liked it though. A lot of people liked Triple H and Lesnar said that it was the match of the night. I don't see it honestly, but
it has all three of their matches had physicality.
Yeah,
but just because the matches has physicality doesn't really mean it has great storytelling.
Yeah. I think their SummerSlam match before that was perfect, honestly. I
think it was way better, yes.
Yeah, it was way better.
Then we had main event, which we've kind of already spoken of John Cena defeating The Rock. What did you guys think of WrestleMania 29?
I keep mine brief. I did see all this. Miz and Wade Barrett, typical match for the IC belt. Wasn't bad, wasn't spectacular, but a good pre-show match. Should have been in the main one. The Shield, that was awesome. They coming down for their first WrestleMania stuff. And it was just a showcase of them, and that's what it was. I'll have to talk about Mark Henry versus Ryback for a quick second. Starting out, wasn't a fan of Ryback. No duh there. Again, I don't like when they try to make in quote fake monsters where you just give them job guys and this and that, and then strap the title on him and we supposed to like him and stuff. I liked the heel version of him more when he was just a little bit joking around. But I was happy Mark Henry won because I thought Mark Henry deserved to win this because I thought they were just going to feed Mark Henry to Ryback, and I like that should not happen. I also agreed about Team Hell No versus Big E and Dolph Ziggler and they manager AJ Lee. I thought that was a great match. I did enjoy Team Hell No. It was stupid, but they made it work.
It worked.
Yeah,
it worked for what they were. Fandango defeated Chris Jericho. Let's just move along with that. And I knew who he was too. And I sort of saw that promo. Like, it smells Vince.
Mind if I cut in?
Sure.
No, that's Fandango's.
Our phrase is. I know. But
I wasn't trying to cut it. Yeah.
You Scott Hall into frame. Yeah.
Yeah, but since I'm cutting in, I'm gonna say I miss Fandango's dance partner at the time. Not Summer Rae, the girl who's with him at this.
Okay, I'm about to say like that was something. Yeah. Alberto Del Rio versus Zack Swagger. Agree with Joe. Good build. It was weird, but it was good. And Alberto Del Rio was, really good as a baby face at that point. I didn't think that would happen. So I'm thinking he's rich, and I liked him more as a heel. But he made it work. And, we're not going to talk about what happened the next day with one of the best thing ever for Dolph Ziggler fans. Undertaker versus CM Punk I thought was good. I knew The Undertaker was going to win, but I just knew it would be a great match. Because of all things CM Punk, him beating the Streak was not going to happen. Especially a heel CM Punk. But he did wonders. He did great. Yes, Master Heater?
No, go on. I was just going to say, like, when I'm doing this, I'm going to just present a hypothetical about it, but you go. You keep going, Will. Just, Triple H versus Brock Lesnar. Yeah, it was but see, this is what kills me about this version of Brock Lesnar. He broke Sean's arm. Okay? Supposedly. Kayfabe. And I like when Brock does that, but I hate it when he doesn't do it in actual matches. Okay. And I know Triple H is supposed to win, but it's the whole idea that, you know what, Triple H, I'm going to break your arm, or at least break it or fake it, do something. You use it to beat up, to get heat off other people, but just use a little bit in the match. Like, he might break Triple H's arm, or he did, and so now Triple H with one arm is fighting, but then he couldn't do the pedigree. But yeah, I get it, but it was just there. And the main event, John Cena versus The Rock, but this time The Rock is WWE World Heavyweight Champion. See, I did it for you, Master Heat. And it was whatever. This time they found out that # Cena does win title matches. Laugh out loud. So yes, he won the title. John Cena was champion in 2013 at WrestleMania. Again, WrestleMania are moments and spectacles. Pass it on to you, Master. All right.
But it was a good pay-per-view. It was a good pay-per-view.
It was a good pay-per-view. It was a solid show, honestly.
Yeah.
It's also one of the greatest sets where they depicted the whole, New York all over the stadium, where Statue of Liberty was above the ring. They had the Brooklyn Bridge over the stage. And
yeah, but let me be Master Heater. It was in New Jersey.
No. It wasn't New Jersey. It was in the shadow of New York City.
They couldn't get the garden and it's too cold, so let's go New Jersey. Yeah. But everything in New York is like, yeah.
And again, a very nice opening package with what's his name, the governor of New Jersey, Chris Christie.
Chris.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I mean, like, associating with a great and moral man like that will never come back to bite them in the ass, I'm pretty sure. And, you know, I love that Chris Christie did not shut down the stadium so he can watch WrestleMania by himself. But
Good one, guy.
yeah. But I liked it. I liked that the intro was building up towards the hurricane, you know, the damage from the hurricane and how they were surviving and so forth. It made WrestleMania feel that much bigger, that much more of a vital, you know, show to watch. It's something that uplifts players, which it is, and it also brings in a lot of economy into whichever town or city or state that they go.
Not Joe O'Connor's.
It'll happen. It'll happen, Joe. Don't worry. Once.
Too cold.
Exactly.
Once you guys have a closed stadium or a dome, that's the idea.
Nope.
Nope.
It's like that's why I think they might
They
never
didn't have it in the. Yeah. No, the day they have in Midwest will be the last WrestleMania you ever go to in the Midwest. Joe, like, you gonna need coat, hat, gloves, and everything. No, I'll be fine. First hour.
Like, okay, so you guys are in the Midwest.
Minneapolis might.
Yeah.
And close.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you this, Joe. Would it be colder than it was at WrestleMania 35?
Yeah.
It would be.
My brother, Master Heater, and Joe will tell you this. Again, we from Midwest. It can possibly snow in April, and we wouldn't be surprised. Okay. Yeah. So you at WrestleMania, all Joe, like, what's this? Oh, it's snowing. You didn't know it's supposed to drop about 20 degrees tonight. What? So, yeah.
Damn.
Reason why they stay in warm weather.
Yeah. I mean, that's why they have to go to coastal cities, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
continue.
Where was I? Okay, Miz versus Wade Barrett. It's a decent match, I guess. The only thing I remember from it was Miz holding the Intercontinental Championship on the stage while he was walking away and said, "Welcome to WrestleMania." So Miz, again, this is how he's adapting to his role. So he knows he's the opener. So he felt it's like upon him to, you know, tell the people, "Welcome to WrestleMania." It's kind of like a smart way of staying in the minds. And him winning the Intercontinental Championship was good. Then again, he lost it the very next night. Again, back to weight. So. Shield versus Big Show, Orton, and Sheamus. I remember just the Shield's entrance being epic. Like, it's like the fans were rabid.
Yeah.
People were like happy to see them because they were like, again, Shield is one of the few acts where they introduced them and they stayed the course with them in almost in a near perfect way all the way till the breakup. That's. Now the reunions are something different entirely, but let's just talk about the initial run. That initial run was awesome, and again, like Joe will like this. This has one of the Big Show's fabled heel turns mid-match, which actually he turned face in the build-up to this match in order to John Orton and Sheamus, and then he turned the other on them again. Henry versus Ryback. Henry versus Ryback. I think it was a decent match. I think it's maybe Ryback's best, match. But I will say I love the build-up for Ryback versus Mark Henry. It was a very subtle build, like where this guy is coming up as the big powerhouse coming in, but Henry is feeling like that's my position. I'm not ready to give it up yet. And when they first announced Ryback for Orton and Sheamus as Orton and Sheamus partner, I was bummed out. I was like, damn it! Then why are you teasing Henry versus Ryback if you're not gonna do it at WrestleMania? But, it was red herring and they fixed it and so forth. Team Hell No versus Big E and Dolph. To carry on what you said about the Yes Movement, Joe, the fact that Daniel Bryan for the best part of that past year was in a tag team, in the middle of the card show, but yet held that very same momentum that started at 2012. People don't understand how hard that is. If you're not in the main event, people don't think about you that much. But he's down, he's down here in the center, and people still love him the same amount that they did the year before, where he was world champion. And then that carried forward until SummerSlam, and then the whole his path to WrestleMania began. It's an amazing thing. And the callback to the match from the year before, where Dolph Ziggler kisses AJ Lee, and then was perfect. And I honestly thought Danny Bryan was gonna pin him right there when he kicked his head off. Didn't happen though, but it's a good match. Fandango versus Chris Jericho. I remember mostly about this match was Chris Jericho's entrance. I think this was Jericho's grandest entrance in WWE. He walked out, he had the jacket, they had the outdoors, fireworks while he's walking out, similar to the Ric Flair kind of thing, where he's coming out. Mm-hmm. And this is Fandango's first, wrestling match as Fandango on the main roster.
Yeah.
So, and he did, I'm pretty sure he phased him out afterwards, but he did these little, dance moves between wrestling. Do something like a double step or something with, which was the little things matter. That's what he got to say. Alberto versus Jack Swagger. Honestly, Alberto was a pleasant surprise as a babyface. You didn't expect. I loved him as a heel back then. Before it became apparent. That in reality he's. Anyways, yeah. But Alberto Rio, as a babyface, he did become he did organically turn babyface. It became you could actually sympathize with this guy and Ricardo, and same thing with Ricardo Rodriguez and so forth. The only thing that ruins this match for me is when he's locking in the armbar and he keeps telling Jack Swagger to ease up, so that he can. You guys don't remember that? It's audible, but then again, you could explain it the way that he's talking to him, so like he's willing him, sort of like Lethal Weapon 4 when they tell the guy don't turn around. So he's willing him to ease up, saying that. You want to say something, Mr. Blanton? Go ahead.
And one thing, there's one thing I had to like with the heel thing. I hated the C thing, because I'm thinking that's kind of copying Daniel Bryan, but then it's kind of
worked.
Weird. Like C.
I didn't really care for it.
Yeah,
it's like. Yeah, that's all. You can continue.
Yeah. It's kind of like it's thank God they didn't have a French superstar, because we would have had the "we" chant as well. We. Yeah, if they had a French Canadian, they could have worked. And Undertaker versus CM Punk. Great match of the night. Great story going into it, which an unfortunate, circumstances, but they made the most out of it. And now I'm gonna ask you guys this: if it wasn't for Paul Bearer's untimely death, do you think Punk had a chance to beat the streak?
Yes.
No, I don't think so. No.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna move to the no thing as well, because I think it might have been more of a conversation then, but I think with the story that got told where they involved Paul Bearer's death in it, there is no way that he cannot have the good guy prevail in this. Yeah.
I will agree with Joe, but not something, because they liked the Punk and they saw the value in him, but they didn't see him as the big star to take the street.
He wasn't that guy.
That's how I look at it.
He wasn't the guy.
No.
He was never the guy.
No.
No.
He only became the guy when he did the pipe bomb, and they can use that against him. And they used that whole thing for a year. Because again, that whole year reign, he wasn't main event the pay-per-views.
No.
It was still John Cena.
And they even switched him heel, which I think kind of killed him altogether. He was doing phenomenal work as a heel.
Yeah.
But One could
But they
argue
had
that he was too good at being a heel, so people actually started hating him, and the fandom that was behind him stopped. Because Danny Bryan was a heel, but these.
Yeah, but they had to because of the whole Rock thing.
Yeah.
Because it's be out his character be like, all right, I lost to the Rock. Shake hands. You the better man, Rock. And you're like, what? I would have been mad at that. See?
Yeah. I still think WrestleMania 29 should have been a triple threat between Punk, Cena, and Rock. It checks off all the boxes. Punk gets to main event WrestleMania. The once in a lifetime match gets to stay a once in a lifetime match. And you get something different.
It would have been a little bit interesting. Yeah.
And you got a main event that's engaging.
He's not the man.
Yeah, he's not the man. That's the problem.
But he's not the man.
But you could have given the title to Cena
exactly.
then. He's still not going to be the man, but...
Oh, they could have had Cena, Punk take the pin and Cena would have still won it. And you could still do the Rock and Cena, But they didn't think he was the man. They think y'all wanted the rematch. So
they thought the big money was in Rock and Cena. Anyway, this match, Undertaker vs. CM Punk, has one of my favorite as well visuals again, where Punk has Taker in an Anaconda Vice, and then Taker just sits up, and they look at each other. And if you look at this, it looks like a poster for a horror movie that, this beast is coming out of the wall and getting him. It's sort of like looking at him, and Punk is like horrified, like, how is he doing that? It's a perfect visual. It should be a horror poster, honestly. That's it. And heartwarming was Undertaker getting the Durham back, putting it in the ring, and you could tell that he was actually feeling the pain of losing Paul Bearer on that night. That's This is a great end. Then you go to Triple H versus Shawn Michaels, and Triple H versus Brock Lesnar. And this match, honestly, the whole thing it went on too long for me. It's like, if you're gonna play the hits, don't play the hits for like 20 minutes. Play the hits for 15 minutes. Same thing that would happen 6 years later in Triple H versus Batista. Like, if you're gonna go all out, it should be a shorter adrenaline shot, not an extended adrenaline shot, because it loses its meaning. And because this match went on too long, we didn't get to see the 8-person tag between Brodus Clay, Sweet Tea, the Funkadactyls, Sweet Tea, the Funkadactyls versus Cody versus the Rhodes Scholars and the Bella Twins. That match could have stolen the show, guys.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And we didn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you can do.
I love the Rhodes Scholars.
Yeah. And then you got Cena versus Rock. This match was... I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This match was bad. It just... I remember like 3 or 4 minutes into this match, I'm like, these guys know the bell rang, don't they? Because there's nothing happening. There's been nothing happening for the first 5 minutes of this match. What are you guys doing?
It was bringing in the again, Hogan versus...
No, but there was no... Yeah, but there was no... But,
Rock.
Yeah, but again, this didn't have the same thing because, A, it's the second time we see this match. B, Hogan and Rock were at least kind of working a little bit. They didn't have this epic standoff. Rock and Cena were like, trying to do the headlocks and thing, and you're like, I'm just disengaged. I'm not... I don't know. I don't want to see this match. They're like... Let's be honest, through no fault, like I said this about Undertaker and Big Boss Man, it's the same thing. Rock and Cena are just, as far as opponents, they don't have that chemistry. They just don't click. And it happens. People just, sometimes two guys you think would be awesome in the match together just don't have it.
Don't click.
Hogan and Flair.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's... And the whole match is cringy. Like, the whole thing with John Cena standing at the top of the stage and saluting Rock, and then the Rook saluting him back and saying, this is the guy, it felt very forced. I could... Like, he cannot sell me on this at all. It does not hit. It's...
I really wanted to say, like, I didn't need you... eat the Rock approval. No, John Cena was the man. It's good to know though.
It's good to know. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and Joe, you said this is the first WrestleMania with a pre-show analysis thing, because the WWE Network, I think, was
the panels, yeah.
Yeah, panels. No, but
Network
started a year later. But this is also for the first and only WrestleMania with a post-show panel. They had Scott Stanford and Jim Ross on there, and Jim Ross said it was a counter to a counter and whatnot. And that's 29 for you. Thank you for joining us on the Outlaw Macho Drive-In. If you liked that video, please click like and subscribe to our channel for more content from the Drive-In. For full episodes of our podcast, you may look us up on Anchor, Spotify, or wherever your favorite podcasts are available. Just search for Outlaw Macho Drive-In. And if it's not too much trouble, would you help us out here? Spread the word, share. We would really appreciate it. Thank you. We love you. Bye.